Welcome back to Golf Simulator videos. Man, do we have an awesome video for you guys today. Another new piece of hardware being added to the GSV Studio. Something that a lot of people have asked if we were going to be adding for a while. We kind of did a little teaser video with a rep. This is Trackman 4. So we're officially adding it to the studio. I'm going to do a full unboxing today. We're going to talk about the technology. I already have the software installed on my PC, so we'll give you guys a first look. But I can tell you this right now, we're not going to be able to show you guys a fraction of this stuff. Something that Trackman does is provide a lot of features and software, and that's why we're going to add it to the channel. It was heavily requested, and we're going to cover all aspects. So if you guys haven't had a chance to subscribe, make sure you do. Make sure you comment below, not just what you think of this first look, but what you want to see coming up in the channel. So that's why we've added it. I want to give, as much value to you guys as possible. And, every time you guys comment on the video and make suggestions, I'm always trying to fit them in. So I appreciate that. Appreciate you guys watching, obviously. So make sure you comment below. Let me know what you'd like to see. And without further ado, let's get this thing unboxed. So let's talk a little bit about Trackman. So a company that is based out of Denmark, okay, founded by, I want to say brothers, but the one gentleman, an avid golfer, teamed up with a missile tracking specialist that actually specialized in missile tracking, okay? And they said, well, if we can track missiles, why can't we track a golf ball, right? So in 2003, they developed the first Trackman. Wildly enough, it was actually like $200,000. And they actually partnered with the PGA Tour. And that's when you first started seeing the traces on TV at PGA Tour events. So pretty crazy history there. And it's evolved over the years. This is the Trackman 4 unit. The latest generation that was actually unveiled, I believe, in 2016. All right. And what they've been doing with this unit is pretty amazing. They've actually just continued to improve and unlock more and more capabilities of the hardware. So it's actually a dual radar with a camera. Okay. So they're actually maximizing all of that. Okay. Not only the dual radar, but also the camera. And the camera not only can be for like swing recording and where you can see your path of your club and everything. They're doing swing plane, they're doing everything with it, but it also now has OERT, which is this optically enhanced radar tracking. So actually using the camera, okay, to find out impact positions and enhanced ball tracking on top of the dual radar. So here it is. Really nice boxing. Obviously a nice picture of the Trackman. I thought it was kind of cool when I first pulled it out there. So that's actually the back of the Trackman. So, obviously a really nice box. Contents, Trackman 4, sleeve, quick start guide and tips, and accessories. It says iOS and Windows based. They have iOS apps available for your phone and iPad, then also Windows based. There's so much software. Not only their standard tracking software and like fitting software with you can connect multiple devices like iPhones to easily have, like you can connect, I think it's like 5 or 6 iPhones at one time, which is obviously a little more than people need. But let's say you just wanted to, from behind and face on. You could easily do that with 2 iPhones, syncs all to the Trackman, okay? It's pretty awesome what they're doing with that. But then also, they just have a plethora of other software. I mean, they have their Virtual Golf 2 software. I'll give you a sneak peek of that today. And then they also have really cool things like event software. Okay, that I don't think people even know is out there. And I'm going to show you that type of stuff. So if you're buying a Trackman, whether it's just for personal use, all right, they have an indoor only version, okay, that you can actually buy for personal use and just use it for simulation. But then also it works outside, which a lot of people don't know, for chipping and putting, okay? And then you can also opt for the outdoor version, okay, which indoor outdoor I should say, and that allows you to use the device not only in your simulator but outdoor. And so that's what we bought. We bought the highest level you could get with the indoor and outdoor capabilities. And I'm not going to only show you guys this unit inside the studio, but we're going to take it outside. So I think that's going to be really cool. Obviously, really nicely packed. I like what they've done here. So this is the sleeve. That's like a neoprene sleeve. All right. We have a power cord. We have USB, all right, to mini USB cable. I think that's all inside of this first pouch, other than, you know, the good old silica stuff that they put in there for packaging. We'll just kind of set this off to the side. Over here, some documentation. And like I said, as always, I'm trying to cover as much as I possibly can here, but I'm bound to gonna, you know, miss something, and I'll make sure that I, you know, always keep you guys up to speed on future videos. That's why I want you guys to subscribe. So you already own half of a simulator. Did you know that Trackman 4, with Trackman 4, you already have access to playing amazing golf courses with stunning, hyper-realistic graphics? You're halfway to owning a simulator. And you know, that's something I think a lot of people need to know. So I already have this built-out simulator, right? Well, this is a device, similar to others, that you can just set down and connect to an existing simulator. And that's what we're doing. So not only can you take it outside, but you can either use an existing simulator or build your own, okay, and just add Trackman. You don't have to, you know, they have full-blown turnkey solutions that they have. They're very expensive. I want to say they start like $40,000 or $50,000, all super high-end custom stuff. Or you can just do your own do-it-yourself project and add Trackman, similar to what we're doing here. This is cool. I didn't expect this. They have the PGA Tour averages and LPGA Tour averages in both meters and yards. They have all of those statistics. And speaking of which, I was going to actually share something with you guys, a little bit about the history. I actually printed out a piece of paper here, you know, that I can throw up on the screen really quick, that just kind of shows the history of this and how they're unlocking this hardware. So in 2016 it was released, okay? They had 113 million shots tracked. They improved club and ball data and real-time video analysis for the simulator experience as well. But then in 17, they released putting ball data with short game analysis and dynamic practice reports with Trackman Go. That's the app. Now they had 200 million shots tracked, or just short of it. In 2018, they now provided impact location, the virtual golf experience, and improved club tracking. 341 million shots tracked. Then they, in 2019, released indoor tracking and outdoor tracking, okay? Target practice range, facility management tools, which I'll talk about that in a minute. Virtual golf experience, number 2, okay, VG2, that's their new, and now they're at 533 million shots tracked. Then in 2020, they added putting club data, multiplayer games, online tournaments, and their AI analysis tool called Tracy. Okay, they added that. So, I mean, just incredible how much they've added. Now in 2021, they're going to be adding neural network tracking, putting impact location, entertainment games, and several new apps with over 1 billion shots tracked. I mean, that's some crazy statistics there. And just so you guys know, if you didn't see my PGA merchandise show video that I released on Trackman, okay, they went over some things that are pretty impressive. So they're now going to have the unit allowed to sit 7 feet unit to ball, which is our setup here. But they're also allowed to track the ball from only 8.5 feet of flying distance. Okay, so they're able to take that 8.5 feet of flight and actually use their algorithm to calculate, you know, the proper shot shape, distance, you know, things like that. They do use a metallic dot on the ball for indoor use, just so you understand. All right, just want everybody to know that. That's for improved accuracy. It actually kind of like sees, you know, through the ball and sees that metal dot. Okay, so just understand that. Really nice welcome to Trackman letter, signed by Klaus, the president and CEO himself. You know, he said the typical trait of a Trackman owner is his or her relentless drive to challenge the status quo. They want to understand and learn and achieve more. Inherently, they want to unleash the full potential of themselves and the ones they influence. Today, you become one of those Trackmen. Congratulations. You know, so just kind of goes on, talks about Trackman there for a second. That's pretty cool. I always like the little touches like that, you know, make it a personal experience. I mean, this is a major investment, you know, if you're a personal user or professional user at that, but it's a major investment, and you know, those little touches are nice. So here is the orange box. So a Trackman 4, you can see it here. Now I don't know if the battery comes you know, pre-charged at all, so we're gonna have to charge this thing up. Now they include the metallic dots or metal dots, all right? We're placing those on the ball. And what's nice about that is you're gonna face that kind of towards the screen. So the ball is gonna last as long as the dot lasts. So it's not a big deal. A little quick start guide with a you know, little ring there, that's nice. There's the actual AC adapter to go along with the cord. They have a little USB. And then I'll kind of close this up really quick, and I'll show you guys that this thing has power out of the gate. We're gonna charge it up, obviously. Well, here's what's really cool is it has these motorized feet. Now it's a dual radar. There's your camera, okay? But when you're ready to go set this thing up, all you do is flip out this foot and then see those feet that go up? And then what it does is it auto levels itself after a second. All right, now I haven't even synced this thing up or everything. It's probably sitting on a level surface, so it may not make any adjustments. I actually cut a hole in my wall, ironically enough. It's kind of funny. I can show you guys that later on, but because my wall's like right at that 7 feet, I wanted to maximize it. And so I took a little kind of rectangle to put the foot in the wall, and the Trackman like sits right against the wall. Works perfectly, you know, to slide back in there, so it should be perfect. And then to shut it off, you just flip this switch, close it up. You'll see the motorized feet go up in the bottom, and then the unit shuts off. So it has a huge battery inside of it that lasts a long time, which is really nice. Connects via either Wi-Fi. It also has Ethernet, so multiple ways to connect, just to understand that. But let's go ahead and get this thing set up. I'm going to show you guys the TPS is what they call it, software, and you know, VG2, give you kind of first look at everything. Let's go ahead and take a look. All right, guys, welcome back inside the GSV studio. We have our Trackman 4 all powered up and charged and connected to our laptop with Wi-Fi. And we're sitting 7 feet from the unit to the ball, and we're using a metallic dot on the ball. And we're ready to show you the software and do some demonstrations. So as I mentioned before, obviously we're not going to be able to cover everything inside of this software, so make sure you subscribe, and I'll go through all these in segments. Also comment below, let me know what you'd like to see, and I'll try to prioritize those things for you. So first thing first, let's just go ahead and give you a brief overview of everything. I'll take down my camera so it's not blocking anything, and I'm actually probably going to have it a little bit smaller when we're doing demonstrations for you guys. All right, so we'll just go ahead and take that down. Here is the main screen. You'll see there's 4 categories up top. First is practice. The subcategories of that down at the bottom are range, putting, and virtual. Range obviously is going to be that shot analysis, test center, the Trackman combine testing, and then shot history. All right, and then you actually have putting, and I'll mention putting real quick. This is going to need to be in a very controlled environment if you're doing it inside. A very nice rolling putting green, because it's actually reading that ball rolling, and it's going to need to be well lit, all right, for putting. Obviously works great outside. We're going to be demonstrating that as well. All right, and then there's virtual, which is really cool. That actually allows you to use not only on-course practice on all the different courses, but also this target practice range with all kinds of different greens, and you can move the ball around. It's really cool. And then if we go up to the top, you can see the different tabs, courses. That's all the different courses. If you watched my 2021 PGA Merchandise Show video that I released, they're talking about having over 100 courses by the end of 2021. That's a lot of courses. You can see down at the bottom, there's some sub-tabs there, whether you're looking for like a tour course, links, junior tees, par 3, things like that. And then games. They've been adding games. They have their long drive, capture the flag, closest to the pin, that bullseye game, and they're actually releasing more. And it looks like they're going to, start gearing more of these towards kids. Get your whole family or the kids involved at any type of facility. I think that's great, especially when you're trying to get kids engaged with the game. I think that's really smart. And then I talked about the event software. I'll have to show that off. It's really powerful if you're trying to use your Trackman to go out and actually have it set up at events. It's amazing the things it can do. And then there's also My Trackman. That's the cloud where you can track all of your data for different players and coaches. And then university, I'm actually participating in the Trackman University. I want to learn as much as I can about the data and the technology, and I can try to provide as much to you guys as possible. So I'm actually going through that Trackman University right now. All right, but let's just go ahead and go to back to that first practice tab. And let's start with shot analysis. Now this is for someone looking for a little more advanced data. You're doing analyzing of the data. Brings you up this first screen, okay, where you're going to choose your target line. You'll see I have a little dot down there right now, so I can actually just click and align very easily. You can actually lean a club up against your screen. That way you can easily identify your target line. And then you can see my ball is sitting actually kind of a little bit closer than 7 feet to the unit as I look back at it, and it's still well within that hitting area. Okay, so we know we're good to go. You'll select your tee to your screen distance. I'm a little about 10.5 feet or so, and you can see it's 10 to 12, and we're not using any offset for virtual golf, so we're good to go. All right, so a little setup screen you just want to go through. 4 different tabs inside of here. You're going to select or add your player. You're going to select the club you're working on, any tags you'd like to add, whether it be a shaft or things like that, and then what type of ball you're using. Okay, so I'm just going to hit a couple pitching wedges for you guys. Here's that main shot analysis screen. You can customize these different data tiles down at the bottom just by hitting this gear. And then you can see that it can add face to path that easily. And then let's say you want one of those to be audible. You can actually go in and let's say that you want carry to be audible. It can do that, all right? And so we'll actually have both those settings on so you guys can kind of fully understand it. Now, it gets really, really cool as you start getting different data. If you want to display different windows, all right, you can split them up. So if you wanted to be looking at, you know, club data next to, you know, your 2D data, I mean, I can actually take this and put it back behind the range. So let's say I wanted to look at impact position and I want to look at my range, but here's where it gets wild. You can actually go down here to the lower left and you can set up secondary screens, actually multiple screens. So you could have two different monitors showing different segments of data on top of your full, you know, range screen that you're hitting into. So I think that that's pretty cool. They allow you to customize all that, but this isn't as much of a, you know, if you want to call it immersive experience. This is for more analyzing data. This is where Tracy's located. You can see up here in the upper right. All right, she actually wants you to hit shots. You have to select a user and a club that you're hitting. And after you hit so many shots, she starts learning and then gives you recommendations to work on and kind of measures everything for you. All right, so just kind of a brief overview of what that is there. You can actually turn on your down the line camera on the Trackman itself, or any type of camera that you have connected, including iPhones that are very easy to connect using Wi-Fi. All right, so that kind of covers all that. Down in the lower right, that's where you would turn on normalization if you want to normalize everything. And then there's an optimizer. Okay, all of these different things inside of shot analysis. That's a lot of stuff. Let's go ahead and just hit a couple shots, okay? Let me just turn on my camera really quick. Perfect, so you guys can see that. I'm gonna make sure that that dot is not facing the club. That way I don't tear it up when I hit it. And then I'm gonna see if this picks up club data or not. This is something you guys need to understand. So this actually looks like a very well lit area on the camera because it's raising the exposure, trying to balance the image. So you guys really aren't seeing what I'm seeing. I mean, this is lit up pretty well, but it's, you know, not nearly as bright as what you're seeing. You're almost seeing it kind of washed out there. And so Trackman, because it's using the OERT technology, okay, that optically enhanced radar tracking, it needs a lot of light for the camera so it can utilize not only the dual radars, but the camera as well. All right, and so impact location, some club data, things like that, it needs light so that camera can actually be a part of that. And I've noticed that it actually works quite well, you know, most of the time, you know, and I'm just kind of like lining this up with my 7-foot location. It doesn't have to be that precise, but I'm a little OCD. So, and it works quite well most of the time, but I'm gonna turn the light on if this doesn't pick up, and that way you guys can see all the different things that it's providing, okay? I'm gonna actually mount a light over top to get additional light permanently. Now I hit that just a little bit fat.
Carry 121.7 yards.
And sure enough, 121 yards versus my normal 125 to 130, depending on how I'm hitting it. I hit it well. I just hit just a little behind the ball. And notice how it missed the attack angle. So now I'm going to turn on additional lighting. I'll use my swing camera light. All right, and that way, I thought this was really good to demonstrate, you know, for you guys. You don't need a light this bright, but it works well. You just need some good overhead lighting, giving you a certain amount of lumens. You can use a lux meter to test it, and that way it can pick up that additional information, okay? So let's go ahead and hit another shot now. I definitely hit it well, but hit that a little fat. Much better.
Carry 125.2
Hold it a little bit.
Yards.
All right, that was 13 feet off to the left. All right, but now I have my face to path number, my attack angle number, and then I'm going to show you guys other things that are included. Okay, so let's go ahead and go up here really quick. And let's take down our camera. I don't want to block anything, okay? And now I'm going to bring up some different data tiles. Let's first, we can look at dispersion. All right, you can see the one that's flashing was the one that I just hit. You can see I pulled that a little bit. All right, and then you actually have your trajectory and your 2D dispersion. All right, and then here's the one that a lot of people are going to be looking at, you know, analyzing what the club is doing, all right, what the ball is doing, and here's where those results came from. So I was actually into out and closed. Obviously, that was the result of that ball being a little bit left, all right. And then if you go down here to swing plane, that's the full swing plane of everything that was going on there. Good analyzation of that. And then impact location. Now I felt like that was just a little bit thin, and now I get to look and verify, hey, it was a little bit below that optimal, you know, strike location on the club, and just a little bit towards the heel. Okay, so this is going to allow you to fully analyze, all right, everything that's going on, doing club fitting and things like that. That's what shot analysis is for. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the home screen because I feel like that's a pretty decent overview of that without going too long. I don't need to save any of this. You can save all of this, all right? That's available, which I think is great. And then now let's go to courses. Just kind of want to show you guys, you know what, let's use practice. Because if I go to practice and I go to virtual, let's show you guys this practice facility before I jump out on a hole and actually give you guys a demonstration out there. Same thing, you can select all these different things, all right? You know, we can select my name, you know, different users, things like that, but let's just go ahead and jump out and, you know, pick a target and show you guys how this works. And what's nice is once you're out there, okay, then you can basically move the ball anywhere you want. Select whatever target you want, whatever pin you want. There's pins all over the place. So it really, you just need to get out there and just kind of do what you need to do. All right. You can change things, you know, on the fly. You don't have to, you know, preset all of that before entering, you know, the practice area. So obviously it takes a few seconds to load because it's loading this entire environment. I have a very powerful PC, and you can kind of see there why it takes a little, you know, a little bit. So I should show you chipping. Why don't we hit a pitching wedge really quick just because we have it in our hand. And you can see I've selected a target that's 120 yards away. All right. If I want to, I can go to my menu here. I can do several different things. I can do some flyovers. I can actually go up to the green to see what it's like. I can actually go up and kind of get a nice overview of everything. All right. I think that's really cool. They allow you to do all that. All right, you have wind. You can spot the pin if you want to. All right, where that's at. All the different settings that are available, whether you want different tracers, different cameras, all right, grids, units, graphics qualities, game settings would be, you know, things like how you want the putting to work, okay, gimme distances, you know, all these different things. That's more for the virtual golf, but for the practice, you know, several of these things still actually, you know, play a factor, like green, you know, the green stimp, you know, if you want any wind or anything like that, you know, the time of day. All right, so just understand all that's available. And then you can actually change the target, all right, really easily. So if you want to select the target, look at, there's another target right here that's 123 yards. All right, and that's kind of tucked off to the left. I was pulling that ball. That might be something really good for me to practice on. So let's go ahead and select that target. I'll bring my camera back up really quick. That way you guys can see what's going on. And now I'm going to see if I can aim a little bit right. All right, maybe kind of draw it in there the way it would. I mean, I wouldn't really hit a fade into that that way that pin position is there. So let's just aim a little bit right and see with that ball flight, I can kind of bring it in towards the pin. Might be too much.
Carry 128.4 yards.
So I didn't draw it in quite enough. You can see I had some good, you know, okay shape on it. I probably started it maybe just a little bit too far to the right. But I can just sit here and I can just work on these shots, you know, and there's so many different targets and distances. You know, it's really awesome. Now I still have my light on right now. We can turn that off and I'll show you how it performs without that on, because that's really just for that advanced data. So now we have that off. Now what I'd like to do is I'd like to just kind of move the ball around and show you guys how this works. I mean, it's free moving once you're in here. So let's go ahead and bring our cursor down if I can find it. I have so many screens going on here. Let's see here. Get that ball, and let's move the ball right up here. So a little 15-yard chip. All right. When you're talking about radar, you know, a lot of people talk about, well, can radar work indoor, you know, because it needs distance and everything. Well, I think Trackman is kind of starting to prove that they can really perform indoor, because let me tell you, I've tested out some chipping here and some putting, and I'm very impressed so far. Now, it doesn't need you to change this, but if you're working on something, you'd probably want to select your 58-degree wedge, and you could, you know, that way you actually know what's going on if you're storing data, anything like that. But just understand that. So 15 yards, it's only 14 inches uphill, all right? So I probably want to land this thing a little over 40 feet, or not 40 feet, a little over 30 feet or so, and let it roll out. See what I can do here. A little too much. A little too
Carry
much.
13.4 yards.
Yeah, see, I actually carried it too far. All right, so I rolled out the right distance. Let's see what I can do here. Shorten it up a little bit. That should be better. Roll up.
Carry 10.3 yards.
Definitely what I was trying to do. Now notice how I put the audible on carry, and that actually stays on even out here on the practice range. So just understand, if you turn that audible carry on, it's going to stay on. Now, let's just go ahead and demonstrate putting for you guys while we're out here really quick. It's easy to do. All right. There we go. Now, there's different settings. Okay, just understand that you can go up here, and once you're in your settings, you can actually, let's see here, the green grid, you can either have it on, auto, or off. And then where is the putting is on aimed? Let's do manual. Now it turns the grid on. It's pretty flat anyway. It's not really going to matter. I could make a more tough putt though. There's some break right over here. There we go. Give myself a little bit harder of a putt. I know you guys probably want to see some short putting though. This is 22 feet, so I'm not that worried about. You know, here's 14 feet. Let's show you guys. I mean, anything can read a short putt, right? How about an 8-foot putt, which is about right to my screen. And I'm also on 9 stimp, just so you understand. All right, we'll go right at the hole. There's a short delay in putting. Perfect. Made it in the hole. All right. I think it, you know, wants to read the full roll of the putt, which is totally understandable. But there is a short delay in putting, so just understand that. Okay. I'll hit one more putt. Why don't we hit this short on purpose? Okay. It still rolled like, you know, almost 8 feet. I mean, inside the sim, it's 10 to the screen. That went just past 7. And that had it rolling 6. So yeah, so I mean, it was really, really close, within a half a foot or so, based on where the ball ended up. So I think that's a good demonstration of putting. And then now let's just show you guys some virtual golf. All right, let's go ahead and go to settings, exit round. We'll go back to our main screen here. Perfect. And then let's go to on-course practice. All right. And then let's go to settings. We're going to go to Pebble Beach because that's my favorite course. Everybody knows that. I'm going to select hole number 7, which is my favorite hole. And well, I guess what other settings do we want? I mean, everything else should be pretty much good. You know, what do we have? Putting at manual, which I actually kind of like. Course, it's set to calm, medium fairway, soft green. Yeah, we're all good to go there. So, and then view, leaving that all the same again. And so all we have to do is go to practice. All right. So let's go ahead and just select our user. It's going to load up number 7. Now, I went out here really quick, and I actually only hit like a couple balls. I'm trying to remember, you know, I tend to play different things, you know, and I don't remember the tee setting that I have selected. So I'll have to look at the distance here, figure out what club, you know, is going to fit accordingly. Look how long it's taking to load. I have a very powerful PC. It takes, you know, maybe, you know, close to a minute or so to load certain courses, but then once they're fully loaded, understand that you can skip holes and it's pretty much instantaneously because it's loading the entire course, all of the graphics. And I can demonstrate that, I think, really easily for you guys. So, you know, give me just a minute here, let this thing load up. And then what I'll do is I'll demonstrate number 7 really quick, and then I'll actually take you guys maybe to, you know, number 18 or something like that. But don't want the video to go too long. I mean, it looks like in this segment I'm already going on almost 20 minutes, so it's going to be a really long video, and I try to keep them, you know, realistic. So definitely a significant load time on Pebble Beach. So just understand that you know, even with a very powerful PC, you know, they're loading some very, you know, intense graphics on here. So I definitely want to make sure you guys comment below, though. I want you to, you know, please let me know, you know, anything you want to see. I'd love to hear some feedback on what you guys. I mean, I'm just starting to get acclimated with the Trackman system. Obviously, we just took it out of the box here, learning the software. So you know, I'm a little bit familiar with it from previous demonstrations and things like that. But I just want you guys to understand that, you know, I'm here to show you kind of what you want to see. I'll do my best to give all those different presentations for you. All right, so we should be good to go. I'm going to go with 110 yards, and it's a little downhill. Now I'm going to hit a 54. Let's see if I'm, now let's do a flyover. I've got to do a flyover for you guys. I mean, we're out here on number 7. Let's go tee to green flyover, and it gives you this really cool kind of drone footage. Look at the ocean. They've done a great job with ocean graphics, I think. I mean, it looks very realistic. All right, let's go ahead, and we should be good to go now. 54-degree wedge. The pin's kind of tucked in the back. What can I do? I struck it pretty well.
Carry 97.0 yards.
Oh, I let too much off. I got scared of it. We'll hit one more. I actually hit that just a you know, not a perfect strike. I mean, you can see I spun it quite well. Now notice how I could be getting my path and my face to path and angle of attack and things, but because I don't have that light, it's not showing up. So this would be a good demonstration to do one more with the proper lighting, and hopefully it picks it up. Like I said, the optimal light is right above going down. I'm kind of cheating with my swing light. That was struck better, but I pulled it. I knew it right away.
Carry 102.9 yards.
That's more the distance I was looking for. It's pin high. It's just a little off to the left. All right, man, I could sit here and hit balls in this hole all day long. And then there you go, guys. You have your club path, your face to path. You can see that ball went a little left, obviously. My attack angle, everything's provided. All right, I'll turn this light back off. And then what I'll do is I'll show you guys how easy it is to jump around when you're doing on-course practice. So at this stage, I could just go to holes, and I could go out to number 18 and see how it's already loaded. So just something to understand, okay? So definitely want you guys to know that once the whole course is loaded, it actually, you know, loads up faster. So I really hope this was an awesome first look for you guys. I mean, it was fun for me. I hope it was enjoyable for you. I want you guys to comment below. Let me know what you want to see, what questions you have. And as always, if you're looking to purchase a Trackman system, hey, I know the guys there really well, and they want me to connect you. So reach out, all right, to me. My email's always provided in the comments and the description. I'm going to connect you with the best rep that's actually in your area. They'll bring a Trackman to your house. All right, they'll bring you to a facility if you want to demonstrate it. They'll do all of that, and I want to connect you guys and help you out, or for anything else. Doesn't matter what it is, guys. I'm never trying to push a specific product, and you know that. So I really hope this was a great overview. Like I said, let me know what you guys think and comment below what you want to see, and we'll talk to you soon.